Talks between both sides are set to take place here in the U.S. and in Singapore, where teams are now on the ground. President Trump tweeted about the meeting and the talks this morning. Here's what he said. "We have put a great team together for our talks with North Korea. Meetings are currently taking place concerning the summit and more. Kim Jong-chol, the vice chairman of North Korea, headed now to New York. Solid response to my letter. Thank you." Joining us right now is former Utah Congressman and chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Your reaction to the developments around North Korea, it looks like now this summit is back on.
Oh, it is. Look, I think both sides have been jockeying for some degree of positioning. I think President Trump's willingness to walk away from the table is a very important thing in negotiations. North Korea is not used to dealing with somebody like a Donald J. Trump, but we have an economic sanctioned plan that has put real pressure on North Korea. Couple that with our strong military presence. I believe in peace through strength. I think also our talks with China are pivotal. And then having the support of Japan and South Korea, the president has positioned the United States in a very, very good place. We already are making significantly more progress than anything that President Obama had done. And certainly bringing home the hostages was a positive development.
Yeah, Jason, this is Lindsay Bell here. It's certainly encouraging to see the developments that we are seeing. Now, yesterday we found out that the South Korea legislature failed to ratify an agreement between the two Koreas, ceasing hostilities and going towards peace. And that was because it missed language saying that there would be complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization. And it seems denuclearization is the big question here for the summit and what that means between the two. How does that play out as we go forward?
I still think that the United States has to come to an agreement. It has the lead position. Obviously, we're not going to do anything without our partners in South Korea and Japan. I think the president's proximity and relationship with the two leaders there is very, very pivotal. But the legislative move may have been a bit premature. They can always go back and have that vote again. I don't think it's going to slow anything down at this point. In fact, I think it highlights for North Korea that they need to strike a deal.
But for Jason, it's Dagan McDowell. For South Korea, though, it doesn't look like President Moon Jae-in is negotiating in our best interest, because, again, when the leader of South Korea was asked over the weekend if Kim Jong-un would agree to complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization, the president of South Korea dodged the question, said that success would depend on the negotiating details, and is becoming clear yet again that Kim Jong-un wants what his father and grandfather demanded, and that's carrots, benefits first, reversal of sanctions, and then we'll agree to some measures, say weapons inspectors in the country.
Yeah, I mean, that's the essence of the Iran nuclear deal. I mean, they pulled North Korea pays attention to this. The United States gave them $150 billion. We don't have proper verification, but the fact that the president tore that up certainly got China and North Korea's attention. And so I still think that will all come about, that we will be lockstep with South Korea. But this is just some natural jockeying before this meeting. This is not going to be the end-all, be-all meeting. It can get delayed. It could be the first of a series of meetings, but it's all moving in the right trajectory.
Yeah, meanwhile, there's this long-awaited homecoming. Josh Holt and his wife Tammy waking up in Utah this morning, where you are, just days after they were released from a Venezuelan prison. They were held for 2 years on these bogus charges of stockpiling weapons. Before touching down in Salt Lake City, Holt met with President Trump at the White House. Watch this.
I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude for you guys, for everything that you've done, for the support of my wife through those 2 years. They were very, very, very difficult 2 years. Not really the great vacation that I was looking for.
Congressman, your reaction to Holt's release?
It really is heartwarming, because a lot of us, when I was in Congress, I worked on this. Senator Hatch deserves a lot of credit for him and his staff. Certainly Senator Corker and his staff. But the president did a fabulous job behind the scenes, because a lot of us never thought this kid was ever going to see the light of day again.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, he's on his way home. Truly remarkable.
Meanwhile, got to get your take on what we're going to hear from this forthcoming IG report. President Trump tweeted about the Russia probe this morning, Congressman. Here's what he said. He says the 13 angry Democrats, plus people who worked 8 years for Obama, working on the rigged Russia witch hunt, will be meddling with the midterm elections, especially now that Republicans, stay tough, are taking the lead in the polls. There was no collusion except by the Democrats. Congressman, what are you expecting from this IG report, and how do you see the FBI DOJ mess? How is that going to handle next?
Michael Horowitz there at the Department of Justice, as the Inspector General, has been looking for more than a year at the Clinton email probe investigation, not into the FISA abuses, not into anything that Director Mueller is necessarily looking at. But it's going to be the most illuminating moment to this point. It is a nonpartisan report. It will get us the closest part to the truth. It could come out later today, or certainly in the coming days. But we are literally a few days away from being able to see this report. And I think it's going to show that the highest echelons of the FBI acted improperly and out of the normal protocol in everything that dealt with Hillary Clinton and that probe. They did not, Lady Justice did not take an even hand in looking at that. That's what I'm guessing is going to come out of this,
right.
And it will be somewhat devastating to the Department of Justice.
So I wonder where the accountability will end up being. I mean, there were two investigations going on simultaneously, one into Hillary Clinton's email situation, which you just talked about. We're getting that IG report coming maybe later today, this week. And then the other one was about the Trump investigation. And we know from Devin Nunes that there was no intelligence used to launch that investigation.
Yeah, look, the Inspector General is also looking into that. That will be a separate report that will be issued later. I think Devin Nunes and Trey Gowdy have done an exceptional job of laying out the case. And still, when you talk to a Democrat and you ask them for what is their very best evidence that there was this supposed collusion, they don't come up with anything. And that's why the markets, and I think most of the country, looks at this and says, Adam Schiff, you promised an awful lot and delivered nothing, because there's a big nothing burger here.
Yeah, well, we'll see where this goes and whether or not we're going to see more criminal charges recommended, because we saw that, of course, with Andrew McCabe in the last IG report as it relates to him lying and leaking.